Go, Krista! Yes, Krista! What up, Chris? Come on!
Next competitor, 81.
Well done, big Krista! Well done, Chris! Take her!
Garon, fresh back from Argentina. You said going over, you didn't know what to expect from these guys because some of them were first time around. Obviously, Krista was looking to go that one better. Did you add any added pressure once they arrived to settle in and get right to the business?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say too much before I left. I mean, I always had the belief that Krista could pull off the win. I thought our females had a really good chance based on the athletes that I knew were signed up. I knew our young men would have a tougher time due to one, that their categories are a lot larger, and also that it was their first time. But overall, I was extremely pleased with their performances. I think everyone, did as we request as a team, is basically give themselves a chance to win. I think everyone did that. So we're really pleased with the outcomes of the boats.
As a club, where do we go from here? Because obviously, when you set the bar high, each time you go, you try to set it a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. So where do you go from here?
I mean, so we missed World Championships last year, due to lots of difficulties around, acquiring visa and funding. The World Championships are next year in Shanghai. We definitely do intend on having a complete team for that event. So, obviously Worlds is of a lot higher caliber, so we're just going to continue to do what we do. Every trip, every competition, we always pick up new things that we want to implement into our program. There's a few things that we picked up that we definitely want to implement. So we're just going to continue to train hard and compete in what events we can.
Krista, you see the competition once you arrive. You have that urge of that desire of wanting to do that much better.
Yeah.
Do you put added pressure? Because I asked you this before. Do you put that added pressure on you once you arrive there? Do you feel like, okay, no, this is where the business starts. I have to get to my goal.
Yeah. I guess once we're there, I finally realized it's real. It's time to go. And my opponent in the finals being from Brazil. Brazil's not a team to sleep on. And before my category had come up, I just saw Brazil getting win after win after win, and I was like, I really have to be on my A game right here. So, I definitely felt the pressure, but one thing I was most proud of for this particular competition was my ability to really just talk to myself, calm myself down, and realize, it's not your first rodeo. You know what to expect, so just go out there, be methodical about how you approach the fight, and it's in your capability. So let's do it.
Where did you think your strengths lied in making sure that you accomplished the goal you set for yourself?
One of my strengths, I think, maybe is my physical strength. Yeah. So one thing that boosted my confidence just a slight bit, just Garon said to me, is like, I think you've got you've got good physicality, you've got you appear to have better conditioning. Maybe just from an outward perspective, watching our our opponent, warm up, he was like, I think you've got on the conditioning aspect, and I was like, okay, there's one thing I might have. All right. So even with that just little added boost, I don't know. You never judge a book by its cover, but that planted a seed in my head, like, oh, maybe I can. So that was one thing. That I think when I stepped into the late tie kind of put me in a positive mind frame to get it done again. Yeah.
When did the nerves calm down? It was during the first round, or
every fight? As soon as the first punch or kick is thrown, you're like, what nerves? It's time to go. Yeah.
Now, what goals do you set yourself after accomplishing this? Because you've crossed the barrier of what you wanted to do for this.
Yeah.
For you, what is next?
It would help that I'm getting ready for the fight night redemption in the next couple of weeks. So leading up to this competition, the Pan Ams, I had a lot of focus on using my boxing skills a bit more effectively. So that's what's next on the plate. But when it comes to Sanda, speaking with Sentwali, the other coach, and he said, there's so many more techniques we can master. So especially going into Worlds, hopefully next year in Shanghai, I want to master some new techniques so that I can step up against the other competition from, was it China, Iran, Egypt, all those girls, yeah. So
any fears of you personally? Any fears of when you're in different styles of fighting, reverting back to another style? Okay, you said you're in redemption.
Yes.
So any fear of
lifting my leg up? Well, I'm gonna have shoes on, that will remind me, keep your shoe on the floor. And just the movement's a bit different.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm really just welcoming the challenge, and I'm not holding. I don't have too many expectations going into this one. I just want to do a good job with the boxing skills I know. So, plans to keep the feet on the floor. I'm a super competitive person. I always have been, whether I'm playing Monopoly or obviously fighting on the lei tai. I'm competitive with obviously my opponents, but very much with myself. And I always just want to do a little bit better every time I step forth for a new challenge. So that's what drives me. Yeah.
Garon, you find a talent like Krista out of the blue. She shows up.
Literally.
How do you then guide someone like that?
Well, I mean, from the very beginning, she's obviously has the athletic ability and the strength and the power. And it takes a while for any fighter to transition into what I consider a fighter. And for me personally, I think this was a big year for Krista. I would say over the past year with wins over, Reagan Beatty of the U.S., who's a former World Championship medalist, Sarah Boxek of Canada, who's, a very accomplished fighter. Every fighter Krista has constantly got better, and she's definitely crossed the line between athlete and fighter. And you know, as the captain, I think she played the captain role well. She was able to advise her teammates. And one thing for me that I found, like going into the match, was that she was very calm. I can tell by putting our athlete's gear on, when you're able to give me instructions, oh, it feels a little tight, oh, this needs to be looser, that means you have a clear head, right? So I knew that going into the match that she had a very clear head. One thing that Centralia I try to avoid in the corner is giving too much instructions when it's not necessary. And we were basically looking at her during the first round and we're like, what do we say? Really, she's really doing everything perfect. So what we try to do was anticipate what the other corner would probably tell their fighter, just so that she could improve on her first round, and she was actually able to do that.
Well, congratulations. We look forward to the next big adventure in Senda, in whatever it is.
Yes, yeah, right. For real.
Thank you. Thank you very much.